people. What's up? How you guys doing? I'm tired. I say this like every stream. I should just shush for once. Okay. And I'm gonna turn on my webcam real quick. And I just switched to the thing. Greetings. How you guys doing? Hope you're doing good. What's up? Also, hi, swaggiest ever. If you're still here, you want to join on the stream in a little bit when you get home? You can chat a bit because I don't know what we're doing today. I assume Sims or just chatting, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So yeah. Well, I'm gonna bring up the Sims for now. Should I? I don't know. Oh, by the way, my sister. Yeah. Hey, it's funny. So cool. So can I tell them about this, or should I just, or do you want me to not talk about it? Whatever. I don't know. What are you starting to switch up? What do you mean? We're here, aren't we? I don't know. I can load up the Sims. Do you think we should play? Should we play Sims today, or do you think there's anything? We could just chat, especially if you join. We could just do a little podcast. By the way, this finger fell off. Not the finger, the nail fell off during school. I don't know when, but that happened. So, ooh, I don't know how we would accomplish this, but I don't know, that would probably be really difficult. I was gonna say, if we somehow streamed from upstairs, then we could chat while you finish my nail, if you wanted to. Oh hey? What was oh hey? What did I do? What did I do? But I mean, if we stream from this would, okay, if we did this, then why is the live chat not working? Is it not working? Hold on. But if we did that, then I think we would have to why is this not working? Here, I'm gonna test it. Okay. So it works. I was just testing. It just shows right nowhere. But so if we were to stream from your room to, so we could chat and do the nails, we could. Oh, I keep thinking that this finger is this finger, and the camera's reversed. We could do it from your iPad, not iPad, your laptop, if you were willing. Upstairs, nails and chat. If you wanted to, we don't have to do that right away. But whatever you think. Yeah. Anyway, now I think I'll just load up the Sims. I could finish my my iCarly characters, and I can show you guys. So I can always exit out of the Sims if we need to. So that'll be fine. Hope everybody had a good Friday. Computer's so slow. Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? I don't know. But yeah. So get back to me about whether or not you want to do that later. Can I just use your real name? Okay, I have to screen share the Sims. on the bus, so your face is kind of frozen in disgust. Is it? Sorry. Um. So wait, do you want to do the stream upstairs possibly, or? I mean, if you don't want to, that's totally fine too. And we could just stay here and chat if you wanted. But yeah, I think that's everything. Come on, Sims, you got this. Sims, you gotta respond, buddy. I know it's been a long day for all of us. Anyway, how's everyone's day going? I hope well. Mine's going alright. Last period, last period of the day, in acting. At the end of acting class, my teacher pulled me aside and I got very worried. But then he just asked what I was thinking about for colleges, like where I was thinking of going. And I told him the two schools that I was looking at, and he's like, "Huh, why didn't you apply for the New York Institute of Technology?" And I just looked at him. I said, "I don't know." And he was like, "Oh, well, why don't you check if you can still apply and if it's not too late?" Because I think that would be a good idea. And I said, "Okay." And then I very slowly walked away. It was interesting, so, you know, oh well. It's very uncomfortable. But it's fine. Anyway. Sims is loading up. Very good. I keep hitting on my hand. I don't keep hitting on my hand, but it's a very different statement. Anyway, I'm gonna screenshot things. Tired. Excuse me. Not Matt. This. My computer. You got this. Alright, The Sims is up and running. So right here. And okay. So let's see. We never actually redid the apartment. Okay, because in the inspiration for this was that a creator called Danielle Bills. I'm actually gonna. Why don't I pull up her gallery? So her name is Danielle Bills on the Sims 4 gallery, and she redoes a bunch of like early 2000s shows, like locations, like the house from Drake and Josh, or the iCarly apartment, and like stuff like that. So we were going to take her build and we were gonna try remaking it with all of the custom content that I have in my game. So, why? You know what? Whatever. I'll get it back up later because this is gonna take forever. I'll show you guys though. I will. Hold on. Okay, this is gonna take forever as well. All right. So. Yeah. Also, you never gave me a straight answer on whether or not you want to do a stream upstairs. Swaggiest. So, let me know whenever you can. If you're still here, it's fine. Whatever. Anyway, yeah. So, Sims didn't take 2 hours to load. I'd probably be done making Gibby because we didn't finish making Gibby. Alright, I'm just gonna. Okay, I'm gonna put them in Del Sol Valley for now. Just gonna put them there. And yeah, and then we'll go in and we'll edit them. But yeah, I think that definitely Carly turned out looking really cool. The other characters did too, but I think she looked the most similar to the actual, like to Miranda Cosgrove, basically, when she did that Carly. Yeah. I should ask. What was that? Okay, that was weird. I should ask Angie again if she wants to join on Discord because last time she was supposed to join but she couldn't. So I'm gonna see. And we're here. All right, I'm just gonna message her real quick. Okay, so I just messaged her. So, alright. So here's her cast. Oh, and Carly's already there. Alright, so I'm gonna put the cheats on. Okay. Alright, perfect. So. Okay, so. With Carly. Last one first. I think she turned out really well. She's kind of. Okay, something that I didn't realize till very recently in The Sims is that since The Sims has a problem that there are no preteens in The Sims. But when you look at Carly here, she kind of looks like a preteen version of Carly in the sense that, like, because I made her a lot shorter and I made her just a lot smaller. So it makes her kind of look like we don't have those things. The same thing with Sam, for example. She looks a lot younger than teens usually in The Sims, which is kind of cool. So I might end up doing that with my Sims. Even Freddy, to a lesser extent. And like compared to Spencer, for example. Yeah, they look a lot younger. But anyway, so it's Carly. She turned out the best of all of them. We have Sam. I don't feel like her face looks enough like her, but especially now looking back. The hair is perfect except it needs to be a darker blonde. But I couldn't find anything that would be right. Her outfit's kind of like Samish, I think. Freddy, I think, turned out more realistic than Sam's, but I'm still not that happy with it. Spencer, I just don't like how he turned out that much. But like in general, I'm putting myself down a lot. But in general, I think I didn't do too bad, especially with Carly. I think she looks great, so I'm proud of her. Anyway, so let's start making Gibby. I'm gonna pull to a picture for reference. That is not Gibby. Let's see. Okay, so this, I'm gonna switch cameras real quick. This here is famous Gibby. And we're going to be trying to recreate him here. So let's get right to it. Alright, first of all, I'm gonna take off the makeup. Well, actually, I think that would be first and foremost. That would change gender. His facial structure, oddly enough, looks fairly similar to Gibby's right now. Just like I think the eye shape and the mouth shape, not so much, and like the face shape. So I think we have a good start here. Make his ears go out a little more, like that maybe. Yeah, okay. Even the hairstyle in that picture, his hair is not like curly, but it's kind of similar. Like hold on. Not that one. If you told me, like, if you went up to me, even though the hair is curly and stuff, let's just pull the chin back a little bit. If you went up to me and asked, hey, which member of iCarly is this? I'd say Gibby. I mean, like, they all have a very distinct look, so probably not too much. Like, you know, I could kind of see it. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. Okay. I think that's a good start for Gibby. I'm gonna make his eyes darker. Alright. I should have grabbed something for this because I just got home and I'm hungry. If I was just making a sim, I think I would like that skin details, but it's not what I give you. It kind of is. I don't know if it's too undetailed. I don't know. Surprisingly, that skin detail usually does not work on people, and I don't think it looks great. It's a little too like I don't know. It looks a little too painted on for me, but like it kind of works. Those eyelashes, maybe black, just because I don't like so much how the blonde looks. Sure. Alright. think Courtney just got home. Alright. So I have a feeling she's going to burst through that door in a moment. Okay. Hey, Court. I'm on stream, as you already know. This is going to be Gibby. Gibby! You say as soon as I switch the camera off. You wanna stay? Well, did you hear my suggestion? Were you on the thing when I asked my suggestion? What? Oh. I was asking if you would maybe want to later do a chatting stream upstairs. Yeah, so you can change that. Cool. Also, this fell off, and I don't know when. So, alright, so that's a yes to the chat stream? It's the background music. So I like that my background music. Okay. This looks a little weird here. But I like how that looks from the front. Like, you see the widow's peak. Yeah? Oh, welcome back. No.
At the stream?
Huh?
At the stream?
Alright.
In school, we went outside for class 3 times.
I know it doesn't. Leave me alone. It's me. What water bottle? Oh, what water bottle? Oh. We're gonna pretend that this looks like Gibby. God, no. It does not look like Gibby. Yeah, no. So. Right. There. And. Alright. I'm thinking some kind of hoodie, maybe. In the early days, he wore like polo shirts. Like button down. Alright, why don't we do a button up shirt? Yeah. What kind of button up shirts were there? are brighter colors in this. So maybe that? I don't know. Um, do I have any other ones? I can use one of these. No, it's not Gibby. I don't know. I do not know. Sure. It's also not very Gibby, but you know. Sure. This is imaginary Gibby, it's fine. But the clip's way too much. I remember being so annoyed when, what was it? What was the pack? Get Famous. When Get Famous came out, and I hate in-game clothes. I'd never use them, but it came out with jeans that really didn't look that bad for in-game clothes, but it has this weird thing, like this like makeup holder thing on their leg. When this is like close to one of the only okay jean options that at that point we had in The Sims, and it pissed me off. Alright. Now with with university there are better pants options. But back then that wasn't the case at all. So we'll go with this for Gibby. We're not taking Gibby too seriously, honestly. Now that I look at it, I feel like he wore more like button-up short sleeve shirts, which I don't know if I have. As I say that, that's not the style though, because he had it like closed. I don't know. I might have to just go with this, but let's see. This again is kind of similar. That's better, but I don't know if they're the right swatch for it. I mean, that's the closest, I think. That's not bad. And then there's this, which definitely does not work. I think that could definitely work. Yeah, alright. That works. And we'll get some better jeans. Maybe the other ones will work now. Or I could do shorts. Yeah, sure. And I'm gonna make him a lot shorter. He was shorter than... I think he was actually shorter than Freddy. A little bit. Give it maybe a little more off than that, but yeah. I think that's an okay Gibby. Maybe I have a better hair. I didn't do his eyebrows. God damn it. He did not have eyebrows. He barely had eyebrows. I never realized that. I could use... I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Alright. That or something like that. No, that's better. Alright, so younger Gibby. I'm gonna do his other outfits real quick. We have, what would fancy Gibby wear? Maybe a polo shirt. think that would be fair to say. Right. What's the lipstick I used? Because I just use it for detail. Alright, nice. That again, these are the skin details that really look like that. But where are my? What was I gonna say? What was I gonna add rather? Polo shirt, I think. A polo shirt category. Yeah, why do we have a polo shirt category? Like, why does this need to be a category in its own? I have like an orange one. Sure. And jeans, no, like, I don't like that color. I'm very indecisive. Sure. And then a different color of this. I keep going back. I hope this does not take me all day just to make this one thing. Alright, now I could add this. At just making a decision, like sticking with it. Alright. Okay. Looks a little bit like the guy who would help you out of Verizon. But you know, cool deal. Okay. Alright, you know, this isn't that important, so... Okay. I feel like there was some point where he was wearing a leather jacket, so I'm just running with it at this point. sweatshirt on the floor. Who wears a... Whatever. So, why are there so many sweatshirts? Hold on. Not that one. Where is it? This one. Hey, what's up? Call me Bako. What's up? How you doing? You dropped something? What do you mean? You're crowned because you are a queen. Thanks. Oh my god, am I dumb? Did I never switch back to the game? I'm really sorry. I feel so dumb. Okay. And thanks. I don't know. Alright. Yeah, I definitely didn't switch back to the game, and I feel really, really dumb. So I apologize greatly. I was distracted when my sister's talking. So, anyway, I'm done being dumb, which I do often, and I apologize for. But yeah. How you doing? Call me Bako. Is it pronounced Bako? Let me know. I literally don't know how to talk, so I very much apologize for that. So, now I'm switching back and forth. Making sure that I switched it back. It's okay. I'm doing great. Alright, awesome. Cool. Well, welcome, Baker. I was just gonna ask again how you're doing, and you just answered that, so I feel dumb again. Yeah, glad you're doing good. I am tired as hell, so that partially explains why I'm acting like an idiot. Part of the reason is because I'm just an idiot, but, yeah, playing some Sims, so that's taking a little bit of ease off of my mind, yeah, we're remaking some iCarly characters. Why do I not Gibson? They really want to name this guy Gibson. Alright. You are a great person. I'm hitting my microphone. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Don't say I'm dumb again. I will try. I am very self-deprecating, but thank you. I really appreciate that. Alright, I'm gonna name this guy real quick, and I think that would be all the Sims, because we started this in the last stream, and then we would move on to the second one, which would be add traits. I'm gonna add traits first. I think you would definitely be a party animal. How old are you? I am in my senior year of high school. Just turned on February 12th. So, yeah. What about you? What was I gonna do? Okay, so I'm hitting things. I'm not meaning to hit things. I apologize for the loudness. Party animal, and I think Gibby would be self-assured. Wait, I forgot to make him a teen. I'm forgetting all over the place today. I honestly need to start getting some sleep. Didn't hear you. Oh, 18. Turned 18 in February, so yeah. All my friends texted me every single one of my friends who said happy birthday to me either called me old or told me that I would be legally tried as an adult in court. So that's the kind of happy birthday wish that I got from everyone, which was kind of hilarious. Anyway, self-assured, and I think he'd be have all of our Sims, and um, and now that we have all of our Sims, plan I'm thinking. Hold on. Someone just texted me. What was I gonna say? So basically, I'm so tired. I am. I'm losing my mind. Anyway, the inspiration for this, for me making the characters for iCarly and The Sims, is that a friend of mine found a TikTok of someone called Danielle Builds. That's her name on TikTok, as well as on the Sims gallery, and she made the iCarly apartments in The Sims 4. Oh, cool! I'll definitely check that out later. Awesome. So basically, all right. Well, thanks for joining, Baker. Good meeting you. Have a good one. Anyway, so yeah, is that we would get her build on the gallery. And we created The Sims now. So yeah. Not travel. Alright. I said I'm done again, so I'm not move household. So we're gonna move household. And I'm slowly losing my voice and my train of thought. So we're moving into a new lot, and we're gonna download her build into our game, and we're gonna add our CC. She doesn't. I don't think she used CC in her build, and I use a lot of CC, and so I want to see what I can do with it. So we're gonna try that out. I'm gonna check the gallery first to see what kind of lot size we're looking at here. Oh god, this is gonna take a while. Well, that does. Well, oh, it's here. All right, and my voice is jumping off of a bridge. Okay. Ooh, okay. I'm out of water. Never mind. So I'm gonna search up her name on for gallery and okay. Danielle Builds. All right. The iCarly apartments. Awesome. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize she also made Carly and Spencer. That's cool. So we're gonna take this, and again, all credit to Danielle Builds here, because from what I'd seen on her on the TikTok that my friend sent me, it was awesome, and this is like all deriving from her idea to make this. That's where my idea came from. So all credit to Danielle Builds here. And we're gonna moving. How big is lot size? We're gonna put this down somewhere. 30 by 20. Save that to my library. Awesome. Is that the right orientation? I have no idea. We'll do this one. So. Nice furniture. Okay, never mind. Yeah. The plan is kind of self-explanatory. We're gonna remake the apartments with CC. I'm gonna try to bring up some reference pictures. And we'll see if that works out. Alright. Apartment. Okay. So Alright, we got some pictures. Alright, we're gonna place this down real quick. Insufficient funds. Oh god. Is it a table? It's literally gonna take 5 seconds. I don't know what I'm talking about. Not even 5 seconds. Alright, he's disappointed in sex. Not can't spell. I very clearly cannot spell. There we go. Things work now. I'm having so much trouble with this. Why don't I just look at the place? Where's Alright, so voice is leaving me. Is it back? Slightly. Okay. Not bad. Now we can finally place it in Please. And that's not good. I think today I'm picking up my new glasses. After the stream. How long has the stream been this far? Not an hour yet. It's almost an hour. Alright, that's not bad. Yeah, at the end of the stream, I might end up streaming after I pick up my new glasses with Courtney upstairs in the chat. Well, she does this one talent, but she does acrylic nails and she so I might do that later. Anyway, so here we go. Where's the main entrance? There we go. Alright, so we go through here. We go into this area. I am missing a lot of stuff just because I'm thinking, because this is like the main living space of this place. There's no entrance to the apartments, just like the exterior of the building and their house. Alright, so the stairs go up that way. This is where all of the artwork is. It's a kitchen. They do have here there. Oh, I forgot. Alright, and then I think a bunch of this stuff is like stuff that was put in by the game because I don't have it. There's Carly's room. This is becoming increasingly more difficult, I think. Because a lot of the stuff's missing and it's very confusing. Okay, also there are a lot of very eccentric things in this build. So, I'm starting to wonder if this is possible. If it isn't, that's gonna make me very upset. So, I'm starting to think this might not be possible, and it might be really sad. Yeah, I don't know if I can do this. Because, here, I'm going to see what kind of, like, sculpture things we have. All the sculptures, and most of them locked. I mean, I could use one of the, like, big statues, like instead of the robot. Otherwise, there's not much. I should have planned this out better. That time sucks. I'm gonna bulldoze the lot real quick. Might have to think of a different idea because I don't know if this will work. I feel real dumb. But all right, I'm not going to call myself dumb again. I'm gonna calm down. I've been trying to do this for a while now. Like, just stop like beating myself up over literally nothing. So I'm gonna calm down a little. Anyway, otherwise, sorry, I just got a text. I'm sorry, I'm really distracted. I will be back in like half a second. Also, you know, I'm gonna take a quick second to get a drink of water because I'm dehydrated and I don't know what I'm doing, so I need like a few seconds to clear my head. I'll be right back. Alright. I'm gonna put the be right back sign thing, and I promise I will be back. Okay, so got some water, and a little bit anyway, so still not but there was a thing that hear me out. There was a thing that a YouTuber that I watched does. There's one on YouTube. She does Sims content, and she used a thing she found out from a different streamer that could be interesting. So I think it's perfect. Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna write a random prompt. Excuse me. For a Sims build. We'll make the thing. So, here. Okay. So. Oh, my friend just texted me back. Joining us. Turn down because it's killing my ears to wear these already. I might turn off the music once she joins. Alright, she's gonna join. Awesome. Can't use this. I have to use from the internet, unfortunately, and it's gonna be slow. I think that's the only way for us to call her, because it doesn't work the other way for me. Anyway, alright, turn off the music. Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Why? Why isn't it working? Hello? 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 Anybody? Oh, it's working. Oh, can you hear me now? Hello? 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 Okay. Alright, so my end is working now. It's probably on her end. Anyway, I think I'm gonna do the randomized build generator. Unless she has a better idea. Alright. So. Okay. So, if we end up using the random build generator, I have access to it. Okay, so my end of Discord is working. So, let's see. She just left. Okay. Alright. Hopefully this ends up working. Anyway, so for now, I'm gonna. Am I gonna randomize this now? Because I can. Good. All right. I'm gonna randomize the random bill generator prompts that we have. So, I hit the thing. Why won't it work? Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
What's up?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You can hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
cool, I fixed it. I'm so smart.
You smart. You smart. Say hello to the stream.
Hello, stream.
Awesome. Awesome. Excuse me.
Is anyone even watching?
Yes, we have a viewer. It might just be Arkham as he goes by. Don't say his real name. Just leaving.
How
his
many
phone
are
on.
watching?
One for now. There were a few people here earlier, but they had to go. One of which was Courtney, who might be joining back later.
You keep cutting out, my friend.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes?
All right. I'm gonna try to adjust my audio settings in Discord because as soon as I go further from the mic, you stop being able to hear me. So I'm gonna just increase the sensitivity. Can you hear me better now? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Oh no. Did I mess it up? I might have messed it up. Hello? Anybody? Please? Hello?
Are you talking? Because if
Can you
you
hear me
are,
now?
I can't.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, good. Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. Can you still hear me from here?
Yep.
How about here?
Yes.
All right, good. Hey, all right, great. Awesome. So, you just missed me finishing making the iCarly Sims. You want to see them?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna switch to main on the stream. I'm gonna present it through Discord real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna share my screen. Um. hmm. All right. Do you see it? Oh, you see that, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, you still there?
look at you go.
Yeah. I'm proud of Carly the most. I think she turned out the best. The other is not so much. But by the way, I hear a little bit of an echo of my voice on your end, just so you know. I don't know if the stream can pick that up, but oh, I don't think I hear it anymore. All right, never mind. Good. All right. So this, as you might be able to guess,
Show me the others.
I'm introducing.
Show me the others.
Carly Shay. Woo. Yeah. So she definitely turned out the best. The rest are. I should have showed you her last because the rest are not as good. We have Sam Puckett. Personally, my favorite character as a kid. Who is your favorite character, by the way? She did not
Sam.
turn out nice. She did not turn out right. Her face does not look like Sam. But I couldn't get it. So this is Sam now. Also, her hair isn't a dark enough color because there was not a dark enough swatch. But she kind of looks like early Sam, I think. I don't know. I'm not as proud of her. But anyway, there's Sam. We have Fredward. Load. We have Fredward here. I think he turned out all right. Um, that's him.
Why are you calling him Fredward?
Because that's what Sam called him. Fredward.
Alright, fair enough, fair enough.
Fredward Benson. And then there's Spencer. Wait for it. Computer slow.
Spencer, I love
Yeah.
Spencer.
He also didn't turn out as good as I'd hoped. Also, all of his outfits have socks, like cool socks, because of Sako. You remember Sako? Yeah. Wait, let's see if you can
Sako!
see it. Yeah, Sako. Can't see it better there, but you can kind of see for all of them that he has the fancy schmancy socks.
Too bad it's not a butter sock accessory.
Yeah, I was thinking. Christina brought that up last stream, when she was here. I have a itch next to my eye, and I'm gonna poke out my eye because Courtney did my nails. So anyway, there's Spencer, and finally the one that we did today. We have Gibby, whose last name is Gibson. Did you know that?
I love Gibby.
Me too. This doesn't look that much like Gibby either. Also, this patch of hair is separate from the rest of them, but I
You
like.
need to fix him. You gotta
know.
fix him now.
But I'm not gonna be able to get it.
He
My
looks
phone's
like
gonna
a
die.
cooler. It looks like his son.
He looks like Guppy a little bit. Just a little bit.
I don't know what he looks like. You gotta fix him.
I know. It's gonna take forever.
Ugh,
Oh.
you're gonna disappoint your viewers.
I don't know what to do. I don't know, man. But anyway, that's Gibby, and I don't have the patience to remake him. You know what? You know what I'll do? I'll try to fix him while we think of an idea of what I can do next. Because I was planning to remake Daniel builds his build of the apartment. And then I realized that it just wasn't going to happen. And if I did remake it, it would look worse than the original because I don't have stuff to do it. So I need to figure out something else to do. What do you think?
So wait, you can't install hers.
I can. No, that's not the issue. She uses like 2 or 3 more packs that I don't have. And if I did anything to
Oh.
it, I don't think I would do anything great to it. Also, hi Butterfly. What's up? Welcome back. How you doing? Um I'm here with why am I pointing behind me? I'm here with I'm here on Discord with a friend of mine. Edgy, say hi. Say hi to chat.
Hello.
So yeah. We're still making iCarly people. I'm doing good. Yeah. So what was I gonna say? I never know what I'm gonna say. I'm tired. I've used that excuse so much. God. All right. All right. So, anyway, what should we do? Because I was thinking, because now that I'm done with, oh wait, Butterfly, since you're here, I'm gonna very quickly. Angie's gonna get annoyed with me, but I'm gonna very quickly run through the Sims.
Oh my.
Calm down,
Goodness.
Angie. Just chatting. No need for a ton of energy to be.
Ugh,
Thank you.
we've
Thanks,
seen
Butterfly.
this already.
I know you've seen it. It's not. It's not for you. All right. So I'm gonna do it quick. We have Carly Shay. We have the best character of Sam Puckett. I did not do her justice. We have Freddie Benson. If the Sims would load, we have Freddie Benson. Oh my god. I hope you like him, Butterfly. I think Carly turned out good. Thanks. I'm glad. I think Carly turned out good, but the rest of them not as much. But I like how Carly turned out. Anyway, we have Spencer Shay. This guy right here. And finally, we have Sims would load. Oh God. Oh my God. What happened?
Hey, it looks better than your version.
What? Angie, are you seeing this? Oh God.
I see it.
God.
What happened
I
to
don't know. He
the
was
game's mad at you
fine
for
a
messing up
minute
Gibby.
ago. What happened? He looks like party streamers. You're right. Oh my God. What happened? All right. Oh God, it's still happening. All right. I'm gonna. Oh God. Fitzgibby to BH. You're right. You're right. I'm gonna switch back to Spencer and see if I can fix this. That legitimately scared me. God. Um. Oh, he's back. All right. He has his arms and his torso. Clip it. Oh my God. Yeah. It was. I'm gonna clip that after the stream. But yeah. Anyway. So. Uh. All right. So anyway. What was I saying? Angie, what was I saying?
That's Gibby. If you
That
forgot his name.
no, I know that. After that, what was I saying?
What's up with his arm?
His arm. Oh God, what's wrong with his arm?
Look at his arm. It's like not. It's like stuck to him.
Oh, I think that might be a glitch with the height mod. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a glitch with the height changing mod. It makes that arm go a little closer to the body. I think in game it's fine. I don't think
That
it's.
should be an in-game thing though.
It
Changing height.
should. The issue is like the animations. Oh God, am I breaking things? All right, now I'm fine.
It would
The
make the game more realistic.
It would, but it would mess with the animations because they would have to redo all of the animations so heights worked correctly. Because like if you change the heights of your Sims, and like for example, if two Sims kissed, one of them's like kissing the person's nose and the other person's kissing their chin. Like that's the issue. Like all of the
Well,
animations would be
well,
wrong.
if it's a big game company, they can do that.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
No, they
Yeah.
they could implement it in the Sims 5 if that ever comes out. Um, my first kiss be like that. Fair, fair. I I wouldn't know honestly, but you know, I that mine probably will end up like that concerningly. But anyway. Oh God, Angie, I remembered the story. Okay, Angie, I'm not comfortable with telling the story, but now that I've said that out loud, I feel like you have to. Do you remember in kindergarten, um, when you and another friend of ours who's still friends with us, but who we will not say the name of, came over my house? I watched
Wait, hold on,
a
hold on.
YouTube
My dad was
how to
talking to me.
kiss beforehand.
What was happening?
Awesome.
Story.
The story. Um, well, do you remember what happened when you and another friend of ours, who will not say the name of because I don't know if they would be comfortable with us saying their name, came over my house in kindergarten, and then something happened, and then later they were jumping on the couch and got hurt. Do you remember that story?
Does this person's name start with an R?
Yes.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just thought of that. Okay, now that I've already said it out loud, you have to tell the story.
No.
Yes, you do. Because I'm
Oh,
not.
this is your story.
You were there. You were a witness. Oh.
I know I was a witness, but I think I
It
rather
was your
hear it from the
fault,
person.
too. Okay, it was your fault.
Don't blame me.
It
I was
was.
young.
All right. I was also young. We were both in kindergarten. You're older than me. All right. Anyway, I'm going to tell the story of what happened on that fateful day. All right. So, we were in kindergarten. It was me, Angie here, and another friend of ours. We'll just call him. What's a good fake name?
I don't know.
Tyler. Tyler.
Why don't we just call him R?
Pop Tart. That's a good fake name. Pop Tart. All right. So me, Angie, and Pop Tart were close friends. We're still friends with Pop Tart today. I see him regularly, And he's a good friend. And so the thing was that we were in kindergarten and we were gonna have a 3-person play date at my house. And we were really excited. It was after a Friday. It was the day of the talent show, so we were all proud of ourselves. Like, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna go home after watching a bunch of 40-year-old English 40-year-old teachers do the kick line. We're gonna go to my house on the bus, and we were gonna eat pizza and have fun. Right? Didn't go as well as we'd hoped because Angie here had decided that she had a game that she wanted us to play. This is why it's your fault,
God.
Angie. I remember distinctly this being your game. That
Don't blame me.
I do. So it was called.
You
Here, I'm gonna switch off of The Sims real quick because this is an important moment. So she wanted to play a game called Marrying Day.
I named it that.
Yes, you did. That was the actual name that you called it. Marrying
God.
Day. Uh-huh. Yeah. So we would each stand on one side of a 3-person couch. We would walk across. There were 3 of us. We all have played that to beach. Yeah. But for most people it doesn't end as badly because what would happen was at random we would pick which 2 of us would go across. And like it was either like Angie and Pop Tart, me and Angie, or me and Pop Tart, which was the issue because we would walk across and we would, as the other person would go da 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 da, and we usually will like barely lean forward, so we'd be like that far apart, and we would like lean in and go ma, and then we jump off the couch, and it was so dumb, but we played that. Uh-huh. Yeah, and he leaned a little too far. This was an accident. And so we had a teacher named um yeah, and we had the same kindergarten teacher. So directly after that happened, we just looked back and like back at each other. Angie's sitting there like just staring in awe, and he looks me in the eye. Pop Tart looks me in the eye and says, "Don't tell Miss Giles." Our kindergarten teacher. That
Oh.
it was.
Wait, hold on.
You
Yeah,
don't, you don't remember?
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember him saying that.
Mhm.
Distinctively remember him saying that.
Yeah, and when
Wow.
and then like 10 minutes later, we had stopped playing Marrying Day after that incident, and we were just jumping on the couch, and and the kid also
He
ended up
fell.
he fell, and my dad had to run and get him an ice pack, and he immediately ran in, which makes me think that my dad was listening in on us playing Marrying Day. Um, because he thought it was hilarious, and to this day, him and my sister make fun of me for it. And it was not my fault. It was not my fault, but it was goddamn hilarious. Um,
Man, you
so
brought up a memory I forgot I even had.
yeah, I know, bro. Dads be savage. It's true, and like, oh my god, it's hilarious because I saw this person, Pop Tart. I was at lunch with him today. I see him on a regular basis. So
I wonder if he still remembers.
I brought it up before, and I think he remembers as soon as you tell him, but I don't think he would ever remember it of his own volition. You know, I think he's repressed. I, I I had a friend from school give me a ring, and my dumbass put it on my wedding finger and got it stuck. And my dad, being a fireman, had to cut it off. Oh my god. Oof. Wow. I feel like I feel like I've never gone that far, but I definitely feel like I've had my family members make fun of me for putting a ring on the wrong finger. But wow, we all have stories of being dumb from our childhood. Children are just dumb, but it's hilarious. Um, yeah. I don't know where the hell you got being dumb. Me too. um, um, I don't know where you got the name Marrying Day from though. I don't know
Yeah, I
why,
don't
and
either.
I don't know why you specifically wanted to play that. By the way,
I
so
don't
that
know either.
yeah,
I really don't know either.
it was kind of hilarious. But yeah, you two should do a podcast, TBH. That would be awesome, and I actually really like that idea, Butterfly. We actually had an idea a while back, um, where
Random
random
interview.
interviews, because in our freshman year of high school, um,
Blech.
so we would go on Skype with a few friends of ours, and we played this game called Random Interviews, where Angie here would be the interviewer who's just really sick of his job, and then
Yup.
and
Hates
then
everyone.
hates everyone, and like just all around a jerk. And he would interview random people. Maybe us like in the friend group. Excuse me. And I would usually be the guy in the back who only joined because there was a poster that said free pizza that he found, and we wanted to make that a podcast once, and we might do that at some point. But legit, like that's a really good idea, Butterfly. We could just do a normal podcast. That would be cool if you wanted to, Angie.
Talk about what though?
Just random stuff. Like we have some stuff to talk about. Like we've talked about a fair amount thus far. Um, especially with marrying
Weird
day.
elementary school
Mm.
memories.
Oh my god. There are
Like
probably
we
so
can we
many
can
more
talk
of
about
those.
our. Am I allowed to curse on the stream? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Like we could talk about our shitty kindergarten teacher. Like she sucked.
Miss Giles, that was the one that he said not to
Yeah.
tell. Stereo app is free. That's true. We could use stereo. That'd be cool. You're full of great ideas, Butterfly. Honestly. But yeah. So what's the story? No problem. What's the story with Miss Giles though? I honestly repressed it, so I don't remember.
I remember her being mean to you too. It was like ridiculous.
No, I think she made me like end up crying in front of the entire class once, but I repressed all of it. So,
She made me cry too. Like, come on.
yeah. I honestly could not tell you what it was about, but
She got mad at me for saying, "Okay, Mrs. Giles." Like, what the fuck?
really? I
Yeah,
know,
it was
right?
really weird. She always thought that I was rolling my eyes at her. I don't know. My eyes were pretty weak back then.
Yeah, you had
Remember when I
eye
wore the eye
surgery.
patch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I had eye surgery and all that crap.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Don't roll your eye." Everyone said it. All the teachers said, "Don't roll your eyes." I'm like, I don't know. I'm rolling my eyes.
Yeah, that teacher, she was awful. Yeah. Jeez, I repressed it so much that like that I remember in 5th grade I didn't remember her being a bad teacher, and then like I think my mom reminded me of something awful she did that I still don't remember, and I was like, wait a minute. But yeah,
Dun
so
dun dun.
mhm.
I remember I
Mhm.
fell right in the classroom. Everyone was sitting at the rug or whatever,
Mhm.
and I fell and I was crying right, and
Mhm.
clearly, she heard me. She had to have,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But no, nobody came until like I was still on the floor crying because it hurt. I remember.
Wow.
But then, like slow and gradually, somebody came to help me get to the nurse.
Kidding. She was awful. She was a terrible teacher, Butterfly. speaking of terrible teachers, there were a few terrible teachers though. Like Giles was definitely the worst. But you remember Geller the Yeller?
Ah, Geller Yeller. She wasn't that bad.
Story time. She she was awful to Arkham. We're calling him Arkham. Just remember. But um, he. Do you remember? What the stuff that she did? I can remind. I'm gonna tell the story anyway.
No, I didn't have her. So
I didn't either, but Courtney ended up having her. But it was the worst
Mm.
with Arkham because basically he was in her class and he was bullied. Um, he was bullied when we were younger. By this kid. We're gonna call him. What should we call him? What's
you're
what's
really
the
low
ex-
all of a sudden.
Oh, am I? Hold on. Here. I'm gonna. Yeah, here. I'm gonna check this real quick. I'm gonna log out of the Sims real quick. Let me see. Hmm. Sims is so slow. Okay. Oh God, what did I do?
But wait, who's the bully though?
The bully? Uh, last name Alexander. That one, yeah. Um, is my audio still really bad?
I remember that kid.
Yeah. Is my audio still bad?
No, it's good now.
Okay. Good. All right, cool. All right, so basically, this kid, what's the opposite of a Pop Tart? Like an awful thing. Cuz like Pop
Toaster
Tart
strudels.
All right, we'll call them toaster strudels. Those aren't that bad, but we'll call them toaster strudels. So toaster strudels. Um, he licorice. Oh my god. Yes. All right, we're
I will call him licorice.
if that's yeah, I think that's how you spell it. Licorice. You're right. But basically, this guy, he had bullied Arkham like throughout elementary school. He literally pushed him off. We had this thing called the big toy in the in the playground, which was this big like structure that we could climb on and have fun on. And he was climbing up this like slanted ladder thing that you could like climb up the side. And this kid like pushed him off of it. He pushed him off of the big toy and he ended up breaking his arm. That's how bad it was. Now, knowing that he had a past of being bullied by this kid, he went into this class. This was in third grade, and the teacher, Yeller the Yeller, um, you good? Mm-hmm. Uh, you good, Edgy?
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah. What?
your audio is a little weird.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
All right. So basically, this he goes into third grade and gets Geller the Yeller. Now, even though even the principal at this point knows that Licorice is a bad kid and that Arkham has had multiple encounters where Licorice has been mean to him, right? And so he goes into third grade and he's waiting. One day he's at this class. He's waiting in the hallway for a class to start so he can go in. And this kid, Licorice, walks up to him and kicks him. Like physically walks up to him and like kicks him in the shin or something like that. And so he ends up when he gets into class, he goes up to the teacher and he says, "Miss Geller, I was outside and and I almost says his real name and Licorice kicked me." Like and so Licorice runs up. He's like, no, he's lying. Yeah, he kicked me. And Miss Geller believed Licorice instead of the kid who's been known. I wanted to kick him. I like being Licorice's friend. I literally I wanted to kick him so bad. Maybe bite him. You're right. Like
You were friends
exactly
with him?
with Arkham.
You
Not li-
said being Licorice's friend.
oh, I meant Arkham. But being Arkham's friend, I wanted to kick this kid's ass, and like even like more
Here's the thing though
recently.
about that school. They always favored the athletic ones.
That's so true. It's so true. Even in high school to an extent. Do you know that?
Like it's weird. They favor that school sucked. They
I know.
favored the
Mhm.
athletic ones, and they're like screw you to the non-athletic ones.
Yeah,
It's like
and
damn.
yeah, this is a little off topic, but did you know that because of COVID, the class that they cut from 8th grade at the middle school is art. They cut out art and home ec. Art and home ec from classes in the middle school because
Yeah,
they
that's.
yeah. Yeah. I like
That's not fair.
exactly. They are really important. It's like especially like um actually even worse. It wasn't home ec actually. It was the teachers. Okay. The thing in that school is that in 6th and 7th grade, you take home ec, you learn sewing, you learn cooking, and then you go into 8th grade and you get a choice between taking a research class um or taking a class that was similar to our home ec class but was also a business class. It's called For Your Future, and it was like for me it was one of the like most excuse me one of the most important classes for my development at that point because I learned even as somebody who's in no by no means going into business that class was really important for me. Like it taught me they taught you in that class they taught you how to use I think it was Adobe Illustrator. They taught you how to advertise a product, how to make a commercial, how
That's cool.
to yeah, like they taught you a bunch of business stuff like economics, like basic economics. It was a great class, but they didn't take it this year. My sister Courtney, she didn't take art or For Your Future this year, which is
That's
just dumb.
insane.
Those are crazy where jobs are going right now. Yeah, I know it's crazy, and they're and even worse. So the art teachers who couldn't teach because they weren't teaching art for 8th grade this year, they're and the home ec teachers they are teaching history. They're because we they had a lack of history teachers. They're just having the art teachers teach history this year.
How does that
Apparently,
work?
it doesn't. It really doesn't. And like,
Because like so, I don't mean to be offensive, but a lot of art teachers are out there. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Imagine them teaching history.
Yeah, like they can teach art history. All of them can teach art history, but like U.S. history, they a lot of them like history, but they're not history teachers. And I don't know.
Yeah,
It was weird.
they didn't get a degree
Mhm.
in a
I mean,
history
some of
teacher.
them are able to teach multiple classes. Like my acting teacher could teach English if he needed to, but like, and like some of them are. I think they're qualified. All of them are qualified to be teaching history, but they focus so many years on learning how to teach art and learning how to be an art teacher, and then suddenly it's like, oh wait, no, never mind. Like you're gonna teach history this year. Same thing with um my teacher this year. One of my favorite teachers. He teaches. He used to teach at the middle school into art, and now this year because of COVID, he was moved up to the high school to teach stage design. Now he didn't get the usual like year before go in and like see what the class is like. Don't you don't get to talk to the person who used to run that class and like in detail and figure out how they run things. He didn't even learn the program we use. We use Vegas Pro for design, and in class, this is an amazing teacher, by the way. Like, he's a good teacher, but we were in class, and I kid you not, we're sitting there, and he's making, like, he's trying to build stairs. He's trying to build one stair, which is a 4 foot by 2 foot square, and then extruded by 6 inches, I think. And he's sitting there trying to drag to exactly 4 foot by 2 foot instead of clicking the button you're supposed to use. He did not know how to use the program at all because no one taught him to use the program and no one told him that he needed to. And like, yeah, and we were sitting there like, no, Mr. Caroline, just double click on the tool, and it took him a while, and I felt bad, but like, he's a good teacher, he's good at design, but they don't tell him what he needs to do, and yeah, so. And then at the end of it, we found out that there's a stair tool, and then we were really upset. And we were like, well, all that time wasted for nothing. Anyway, I never finished saying the thing about licorice, but since the teacher since the teacher believed licorice instead of Arkham, Arkham had, I think it was over a month of no recess, which means he was just sitting off.
His parents didn't get involved with that.
No, they
Because
didn't.
if that was my kid,
Yeah, exactly. I know, right? It's like it
like then their
blows my
parents
mind.
seem pretty protective. Like I don't weird. I don't know.
They are very protective, but I think the issue is like, I don't know if he told them about it because I don't think it was a. Oh God, my voice. Excuse me. I don't think it was. Yeah,
Bless you.
emotional abuse. It's true. Like, the teacher treated him like crap all year. This poor third grader, this kid who who was having trouble in that class, was treated him like crap, and like it, and like he got punished for getting kicked by someone, and he didn't feel like he could go to somebody and talk to them about this. Like, it sucked. Like, that teacher sucked. And then my sister got her, and my sister was just quiet enough not to be treated like crap by her, because she likes the quiet kids or whatever. But she was still an awful teacher.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Well, so our school district is a little messed up. Yeah. So. Yeah. I think there are just so many like weird things going on right now, especially with schools. I don't even want to think about what college is gonna be like. I know that
Nice
Butterfly, you mentioned that. Yeah, I know Butterfly, you mentioned that that you're in college right now. So post story times on YouTube, man. Bring attention to it. Definitely, like, that's again. I post VOD, so I think I'm gonna name this uh talking shit about talking shit about my school district. I'm echoing a lot on your end, just so you know.
Hold on.
Hmm? I'm not echoing anymore. You're good. All right.
Is that better?
Yeah, you're good. I think I'm gonna title it that on YouTube. In fact, I'm gonna change the stream name right now. Um, here, let's see. All right, I'm calling it "Talking Shit About My School with Angie." Um, how does that sound? Here, let's see. Perfect. Featuring Angie. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we had some weird things happen. Plus, okay, like, my school doesn't know what it's doing right now. I don't know about yours, Angie, but like we don't know anything that's happening right now. My school, oh my god, I have the biggest rant. So, as I
Bring it.
mentioned, hmm? What?
Bring it.
Hell yeah. All right. So, I'm echoing on your end again, just so you know.
Ah!
Ah. All right. So, as I've mentioned, I'm echoing again. All right. Cool. So, thank you, Angie. I don't want to be annoying, but I'm echoing a lot on your end. I don't know why.
Here, hold on. I got this.
Okay. Um. Cool. Cool. Thanks, butterfly. All right. So I'm gonna start. So as I've mentioned, I do stage design. I work on building sets, building and designing sets at my high school. Um, and so I'm part of um the theater program. I have an acting class, but I don't really act much. But anyway, at our school this year, because of COVID, obviously there are a lot of restrictions on what we can do as for our plays. Now we are one of the very very few schools that are lucky enough to be able to still be making things, um, even if uh, even if COVID is making it an issue. Um, because instead of doing the solely um, uh, the solely Zoom call shows, like the ones that are just different people in different locations on a call, um, acting out a scene, we're able to be in the same location because our school's hybrid. Every other day, we go in and then the other day we're online. But so we're able to have um, semi in person plays where we film what we perform in school and then we show it on a Zoom meeting to people. Anyway, um, the issue with that is we're being extremely careful. We're glad that we're able to do anything at all at this point, and we're being so careful. Everyone is constantly wearing masks. People like our teachers, like the acting teacher, he's an EMT, so he knows what he's talking about. And every time we walk into the school, they test your temperature. We're being really careful. Everyone is just trying to do their part. But that's in the theater program. Now, let's turn our attention to the sports. As Angie has mentioned, they put a lot more attention into their sports than anything else in the school. So what do you think would be the worst sport? I know it is rough, but what are you gonna do? But so not fair to the other kids. Definitely probably football. Oddly enough, that's not the issue. That one's like the second worst because they're there's also an issue there. Our wrestling team is trying to. Oh,
Hold on. They still have that? That's still a thing, even
uh
for
huh.
COVID?
Yeah, that's not even the issue though, because they're not only are they running the wrestling and the football team, they are trying to argue with the school to say that they can't wear masks while they wrestle because it's dangerous. It's dangerous because they don't know if somebody is having some kind of issue under the mask, that they can't see the person's face like while they're wrestling, so they need that to keep them safe. Now in normal circumstances it's important to be able to see the person's face, I understand, so like to make sure that they're okay while they're wrestling. But if you can't wrestle without wearing a mask during a pandemic, don't wrestle. Why are they still having a wrestling team when we most of the clubs I know it's stupid when most of the clubs in our school can't do in-person things. The only clubs that the only non-sport clubs that are running in person are um are the build club because we're building physical things, and I think um forensics, which is the like public speaking for some reason because they're very special. But anyway, they they have the nerve to try, and they're getting there. That's the thing. The school is like thinking about it, and I think they're gonna actually let them not wear masks while they wrestle. But no, we can't sing a duet next to each other. Like two people wearing masks can't sing a duet next to each other in person. They have to be like they have to be I know. They have to be over 6 feet away from one another, both wearing masks and face shields, and when they sing a duet. But contact sports, you can't wear a mask during it. It's just so dumb. It flabbergasts me that that is the thing that my school is actually thinking about. Like, oh, well, then if they can't wear a mask while they're wrestling, even though that's total bullshit, then we're not gonna make them. Either say no to it all or not apply rules at all. Exactly. That's the thing. They have so many different rules for different like clubs. The sports have always gotten special treatment, and it sucks. There have been like and like the school's so proud of their sports, which is that's fine. But like they exceptions that make no sense to me. Like exactly. It's stupid because like even before COVID, on the morning announcements, we would have 80% of it would be like, "Oh, this person did great in the this competition and this person did great." And then like for half a second at the end they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, there's a show tonight for the theater. I'm not going to tell you where to get the tickets. I'm not going to tell you how much the tickets are. I'm not going to tell you even what time the show is at. You're going to have to find that out for yourself if you want to go. But here's everything about the next game that the school is doing." It's like they never cared about anything but the sports in our school, and we don't have a good sports team. We're not like we're not like the best league in the county. No, we're like the worst. And it's stupid. But I don't know. I never understand. Anyway, yeah. My school is like they give me a headache. Yeah. It's all good though. Thanks. We deal. We have good like the only good consolation is that we have good teachers. And that's the T. Exactly. We have good art teachers, which I'm appreciative of. And that's mostly because we have good teachers in general, but like the only thing that like I can that makes me not want to constantly yell at the school administrator, who's an idiot, by the way. Um, am I thinking of the school administrator? I might be thinking of a different person because we literally don't know much about anyone in power in our school. But yeah, but like, it's at least good that just generally we have some good teachers. So they're at least good like art teachers and people in music. So that's good at least. The goddamn sports. But anyway, so that's my rant. Angie, you still there? Angie?
Ah.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back. Any input? Butterfly said, Angie! um, yeah. Any input?
Well, I just think the whole school system sucks in general.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Actually, I should say education system. That's a better word.
Fancy, fancy. Yeah. It's way outdated. You're right. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. It's true. Yeah. I feel like I'm a lot calmer right now after that rant. I'm usually like, oh god, my self just made a weird noise. It was like a weird, I don't know, like a cough thing, but I didn't cough. I apologize for that noise. But I am usually so much less calm, but now I am very calm after ranting about my school being annoying for a while. So thanks for listening to my rant. Angie, you got anything interesting? Yeah. It's
Nothing I could
thanks,
think of
butterfly.
at the moment.
Fair enough, fair enough. Cool, cool. Um, hmm. What's another interesting thing about school? Hmm. I honestly could not think of another idea. um, Angie, who would you say was your worst teacher within the school district? Um, like
My worst year, did you say? What was the question?
teacher.
Teacher?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mhm.
So in that district?
Yeah. And then you can say like in general too if you want.
See, there were a few in that district, but nothing tops the guy who put me through hell sophomore year.
Mm. That was where you are now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Tell us about it.
the biology teacher.
I feel like you
Piece of
definitely
shit.
told me about it. Are you comfortable talking about it on stream or
I don't know. He just put me through a lot of anxiety, and he knew what he was doing. You know, him
Yeah.
getting annoyed that I had a panic attack in his class. You know, and then having me come back in the class to fill out a pass to guidance like that. It was a whole. It was a whole thing.
Mhm. Butterfly's right. That is definitely not okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it was just in general anyway. Like always making me speak in front of the class. You know.
Yeah. I mean like there's a point at which like teachers need to like get kids talking, but like from what you've told me there's definitely a line. Like where
Yep.
he's just doing it to like piss you off.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to see
Yeah.
how. I don't know. I guess it's like he got off of
Mhm.
making me miserable.
Mm.
So
Yeah. Some teachers can suck. It's just yeah. Yeah. But like that's the thing. The teachers can be awful, but usually they're not as bad as the students. Like not every student. He was definitely a butterfly. You're right. He was a dick. But from what you've told me, obviously I don't have firsthand accounts, but yeah. But like the kids can be so much worse sometimes. Do you remember um I'm going to type her name in our chat and we'll think of a special name for her. Um in the Discord.
Aw. You know, I thought about her the other day.
Yeah.
But you
Helen's a
know,
good name.
honestly
We'll use
though, as she
Helen.
got older, she wasn't that bad.
Are you kidding? Oh,
So
she
at
was
least to me. To me she became very more friendly.
but I have a worse one too. I'm gonna tell you both of these stories. We're gonna have Helen and then this person.
But
Maturity, indeed. Well, she could
alright,
have gotten
alright.
more mature. I
The
really didn't
second the
talk to her
second one,
much.
immature
Hmm.
and manipulative.
That's true.
And I imagine she's still that way. But the first, okay.
Mhm.
See the first one, let's give her a name.
She said,
What's the name of
but
her- what's
Butterfly
the name
had
of
the
her
idea
role?
of Helen, so we're gonna call her Helen.
Helen.
Yeah.
All right, we'll name the first one Helen. Helen. Oh my god.
Mhm.
See, Helen has a lot of siblings, and I
Mhm.
think it was more for attention why she kept acting out and bullying.
That's true.
And I honestly feel like she didn't necessarily mean it,
But do you
you
remember
know,
what she
because
did
she
though?
did seem sorry after the incidents,
Which
but yet
things?
she was still it was still pretty bad.
Which thing
But
was
go
it?
ahead, tell your story.
Okay. So this, like, when I was little, this didn't feel like much, but like looking back, I've literally sat looking, like thinking about it and started crying. I'm a lot better with it now, so like it doesn't bother me as much that she said this, but like looking back, it fucked me up. But like, okay, so I don't remember what year this was, but in elementary school, I think it was fourth grade maybe. Um, I was um I discovered what Instagram was. I think that was fourth grade, and I think it was like it was weird too. Like I was visiting my grandma in Atlantic City. My grandma used to live there, and my dad always would like drive me and my sister out there. So I was on the couch trying to fall asleep with my little iPod that I had, um, that I got really excited about back then, and I found an app called Instagram, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew I wanted it. So in the middle of the night, as my dad, he hadn't fallen asleep yet, we were watching TV. Um, I went up to him, I was like, Dad, I want an app, and he says, What app? And I said, Instagram. And he's like, Okay. So he got me Instagram without even knowing what it was. Um, so we so I started using it. Exactly, dads. But I started using the app, and I would just post random things. They were so dumb. They were just like bad quality pictures with pointless little things written underneath, and
Can we still
um
find these things?
probably not. I don't have the account, hopefully not, but I think there was one really stupid one that was me, but Instagram is supposed to be fun, that's true. Um but yeah, so there was one I remember. um I'll look for them. I don't know if I could find it, but I'll look. um I have a new Instagram account that I it messed me up so bad that I only got an Instagram account last year. So, um, yeah, I entirely like abandoned it. I never deleted
Yeah,
it
and you
though.
found me, you creep.
What?
You creep. You found me.
What?
You found me on Instagram.
Yeah, cause Arkham was following you.
Well, you're
Um,
still a creep.
yeah, okay. Um, it's alright, butterfly. But basically, what happened was, um, I was with my family one day, and back then more so than now, I had, um, you may know, Bach. I don't know what you're trying to write. You may now box kills me well. People find me all the time. Oh yeah. Oh cool. Yeah, same. But anyway, basically, I was with my family one day, and back then I had a weight issue, and I still do to an extent, but I've dealt with it a lot since then. Because I had some other health issues, and I was pre-diabetic at a really young age, which was not good. And I'm a lot better now, anyway, but I'm still pretty insecure about it. Anyway, so during this time, I remember I had like I was literally on. Um, you look beautiful and healthy. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I'm still not as good as I want to be, but I've done a lot better since then. But yeah, at that point, I was like on a really harsh diet that thanks. But I was in on a really harsh diet. I don't think I even went into this much detail when I explained this to you, Angie. But they can be. This one was definitely not great for me, but they some later on in life I was a lot more healthy about going about it. But anyway, so I basically it was a time where I was on a really like harsh diet, and my parents decided to like they wanted to be a little bit easier on me, and they decided we'd have ice cream after dinner. So we had ice cream, and they set it up all nice, and like we had just a little bit of ice cream, and they just set up like a bunch of toppings and ice cream on the table, and I took a picture of the ice cream and I put it on Instagram, and there was an Instagram that followed me that I didn't know who this person was. All I knew was that there was a picture of a person, but there was a lot of light behind it, so you couldn't see who it is. And so I was I like that person commented on that picture and called me, I don't remember her exact words, but called me fat and ugly. So, um and
Bitch.
I know. and so I and so I literally ended up crying. Exactly. No you, but uh um so basically, oh, sorry. Um so basically, um I had I ended up crying. My mom found me crying and asked what I was about, pried it out of me practically. And when I showed her, she said, "Well, you got to say something back." I'm so sorry. No one should have to deal with hate comments like that. I know. It really sucked, and thanks. But basically, that's not even the end of it, because she said, "Well, you got to say something back. She can't just think she can get away with saying something like that." And she wrote a message for me to send to her, and it wasn't my own words, and I I wasn't even the one who pressed the send button. And she said, and my mom wrote, "Yeah, well, you're uglier." My mom isn't the most professional of people. Not professional, but like she was mad. She was obviously very mad that someone said that about her daughter. So she sent that to this person. You couldn't even see their face in their pictures. But she was just so mad that she sent that back. And so this person sent back, well, I screenshot what you sent me, and I'm gonna show the principal. Back then we didn't even know what screenshot meant. So I didn't know what I was dealing with. I didn't even think to search it up back then. But the next day, I go into school, and um, and our principal, the one redeeming quality of that school, we had the nicest principal. Um, he approaches me as I'm going out to the buses, pulls me to the side. He's like, "Hey, Ashley, I someone told me that you were being mean to them on Instagram, and I don't think that that's something that you would do, but I just want to say that you should really try yeah, you should really try to be nicer to people." And like, but he genuinely sounded like he wasn't mad, and I think he realized that that wasn't the entire story, because he, like, from the first day that I went to school there, he knew everyone in my family's full name, like first and last name. And I literally was standing there. It wasn't even something important. I wasn't getting in trouble, nothing. I was nearly in tears standing there. But I don't know. So like, um but yeah, should have showed him the post. I couldn't even like move. I couldn't even like he like he like afterwards he's like, "Okay." And I just couldn't bring myself to say anything and had to leave. Like I should have showed him the post too, because he would have seen it and immediately been like, "Oh, so that's the rest of the story," and would have like said something to what was the name? Helen's parents, and and she would have gotten in trouble for what she did. But like, I was mortified, and the same person like made fun of me in person too, in school. Yeah, so that messed me up real bad. So yeah, and I didn't even know how awful it made me feel until a lot later on. like, um, like throughout middle school and like half of high school, barely remembered it, and like even when I did remember that happened, it didn't seem as bad as it really was. And like, but yeah, um, but yeah. Anyway, and that's not even the worst one. Angie, you said how this person like got better. This other person, we have to think of a name for her, did not get better.
Oh yeah, no.
She did not.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
Let's
she.
call her.
What do you think?
I don't know. Let's call her Jap because she's a Jap.
Yeah, true. That's true. Um, so basically, this girl, call her Jap, um, she was friends with some of my friends. There was another girl, um, we'll call her. I don't know. I'm really bad at names. We're gonna call her Glitter. We'll call her Glitter. So it was Jap and Glitter. Glitter was genuinely really nice, and I think you know who I'm referring to when I say Glitter. Here, I'm gonna Angie, I'm gonna text it in the Discord. I almost misspelled. Um, so Jap and Glitter.
Oh,
Yeah,
my old childhood friend.
yeah, and she was genuinely really sweet when she wasn't with Jap. Um,
Yeah, see, yeah, Jap was like
hmm,
manipulating her in a
extremely.
way to keep hanging out with her,
Hmm. And like she
and
was
she was trying to
always
like isolate her to just be her friend and no one else's friend.
yeah. And so basically, Jap and Glitter would hang out with me at recess sometimes because um, I had I had some other friends I could hang out with at that time. Like me and Angie hung out, but like she would also kind of hang out with um, Jap and Glitter with me sometimes. If she wasn't with some of our other friends, I'd be closer with later on. But basically, there was this one day. It's kind of a similar story, oddly enough. Not similar like the like being on the phone, but like this was I think this was earlier than the other story, but basically, um, and this was something that happened multiple times. Where I mentioned the big toy earlier, where Arkham broke his arm. We were near the big toy. I walked up later because I walked a little slow back then, and I still kind of do. But so I walked up, and they were both standing at the top of the big toy, and and they looked down at me. I'm like, hey, so what are we playing today? And they and this was something planned out. It was very clear that they'd planned to do this as a funny joke. And Glitter didn't realize that 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 they were being mean. But basically, um, Jap looked down at me, pointed, and like did this annoying little laugh. And went, monster! And they started running from me. And I said, okay, I guess I'll play along. And I ran to the top of the big toy. They went down the slides and the ladders and everything. And they were on the bottom of the big toy. And she kept doing the stupid scream and running around and like 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 um and so Glitter would follow after her just as if we were playing tag, not like yelling monster, but she kept being like, ugly monster following us and like stupid stuff like that. And they did that. Let's say I think we had like a 45-minute recess till the last at the um yeah. So she did that for the entire recess to the point where I was literally chasing after them the entire time, out of breath, mind you, like ready to fall over. I know. I back then I I hope I deserved better, geez. Like now I have a lot better friends. Um there's one more recently who's not great, but um back then they sucked. Um flip your bad bitch switch on. Hell yeah. But like basically, you're really chill and fun. Oh, I really appreciate that. You too, Butterfly. You're really cool. And to you too. Um, but basically,
Thank you.
yeah. So basically, we did that the entire recess until I was at the bottom of the big toy, and they were sitting there laughing again. Glitter didn't realize that Jap was laughing at me. She was laughing at the game. And I sat there, fell to the ground and started crying on the wood chips. Um because they had chased
No.
yeah. Because I'd spent my entire recess chasing after these two people, just wanting to ask them what game we were gonna play. I like it got to the point where I was just chasing them, tears like
Wait a
welling up.
minute. Where was I?
You weren't there that day.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
the one day. But yeah, I think you were with uh the people who I'm closer with now. Um, that friend group, the cooler ones. Um, but yeah, I was literally crying there, and and Glitter realized that I was actually upset, ran down to see if I was okay, and Jap stayed up there, of course. Well, I started crying, saying how much I hated the game, and I just wanted to do something fun, but it wasn't fun, and I was just in tears, and um, and about to have them catch her outside, hopefully. Um, but yeah. So I'm sitting there in tears, and Glitter's like trying to reassure me, like, no, 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 it's okay. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. We'll play something else, I promise. And as soon as she says that, we hear a whistle, and we turn, and the lunch aides are like, okay, time to go back inside. Yeah, spent my entire 45-minute recess being ran away from by my supposed friends and crying. It was literal torture for me, and it was awful. But yeah.
I think it's safe to say school
Mhm.
just sucks in general.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah. Yeah, and that like she did that for years, and then she had the nerve, this person who never got bullied a day in her life, who bullied me. I continued to be friends with her after that for some reason because I was little and I didn't know. We She ended up not going to the same middle school as us because she wanted to go to a private school because she was getting bullied. I spent every minute of every day with her practically. She never got bullied in school, and she had the nerve to say that the reason that she wasn't going to the same middle school as us was because she was getting bullied. And if there was any smidge of a chance that she was getting bullied and that I didn't catch it, then I would give her the benefit of the doubt. But she was mean to more than just me. So it's because you didn't want others to feel the way that you had felt from others. It's true. That's pretty much it. Like, subconsciously, pretty much. It's like, even to this day, like, I. Yeah. That's why you didn't just block her. I know. Yeah. For better or for worse. Um, but yeah. It really just sucked. Like, I don't know. was crazy. But yeah, and like I don't know if I should even get into like the more recent stuff because like it was so much better. Yeah, I know. It was awful. Everyone's been through like some hard times, but that was it for me. I mean, back then that was it for me. There was some more, but you know. I don't know if I should even get into like the more recent stuff though, Angie. You know?
Could if you want.
I mean,
Wait, when is this stream supposed to end?
true. I
Out of
usually
curiosity.
fair enough. I
Out
usually
of
go for
curiosity.
I usually go for like 3 hours. It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. I usually either go for 2.5 hours or 3 hours. So whatever we think. Whatever you want.
You're a super streamer.
Yeah. I'm doing a lot of streams lately. I don't know. It's nice to have something to occupy your time with. I do gotta go soon. My baby's up now. Cool. It's all good. It's all good. You have a baby?
My sister's
Congrats.
starting to act out, as usual.
Nice. Congrats, butterfly.
She's being a sister.
That's awesome. Sisters indeed. But yeah, that's cool. But yeah. Why is my hair doing this? I don't know. Whoosh. A little whoosh there. But yeah. Whenever you have to leave, obviously, you're good. Thank you, you handsome boy. I'm sure that
Alrighty.
he is. Hmm? What, Auntie?
I said okay.
Okay. Cool. Alright, so yeah. I have been
So
doing
when
a
are you
lot
gonna
of
stream
ranting today.
Minecraft? I'm just curious.
Minecraft. I streamed from Arkham server. He does Minecraft on his server, and I streamed once while I was on with him. So yeah, you could join if you wanted to. What do you think?
Don't you need realms for that though?
Realms? What's Realms?
Realms or whatever?
I don't play a lot of Minecraft. I haven't played it in a while, except for then. So it's just a multiplayer server, so I don't think so.
Alright, I'll look into that.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So, are we thinking we go till 2 hours and 30 minutes, or do you want to go longer? Child is thinking. Eddie? Angie? Angie? You there? Angie? And
Hello.
hi. Look, butterfly. So, you thinking we go till the 2 hours and 30 minute mark, or you want to go longer? Whatever is working for you.
I don't know.
Cool. Fair enough.
Beats me.
Fair enough. Should we tell the like more recent thing? You want to talk about the more recent thing?
With who?
What?
Who?
I'll send it in chat. I think you already know. Yeah, that's real
That-
recent.
Oh,
Yeah,
that C word. I will not say the C word because it's offensive to most people.
that's true. Yeah, she'd never be able to see this, right?
No, but like I don't know how like anyone else watching will feel about me saying the C word.
No, I don't. No, I meant like the person. And yeah, I
don't
say
honestly
that
you
word either.
shouldn't care if she sees this or
It's
not.
true. My only issue is like we still have mutual friends, so
Mm.
yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell it. Let's think of a name. That's a good name.
Ho. We're gonna call her Ho.
We're not. All right. We'll call her Ho. So. Where do we start? Jeez. There's a lot with that one. The other ones were like so far off that I don't remember it fully. but this one's real recent, so there's a lot. Kelly. Ooh. I don't like saying ho, so Kelly could work. Angie, do we have to say ho? Angie? And
What was that?
um Butterfly gave the idea of Kelly, and I don't really like saying ho, so can we just say Kelly? Be a ho girl. Kelly be a ho a
What
ho
were you
garden
saying?
ho. Nice.
I'm
How about
sorry, my sister, her friend came in, like talking to me.
cool, cool. I was gonna say, you know what? Why don't we just call her Kelly the Hoe? That'll be her name. We'll combine them both. Fucking garden tool, definitely. All right, so, basically, I don't really know where to start, but basically, this person was somebody um, that I started becoming friends with in like late 8th grade, like right before high school, right? So she was Kelly the Hoe was a mutual friend um of mine with another friend. Um and so I'm going to leave out one major thing, Angie. So um
Can you type that?
here.
So I'm aware.
Fair enough.
Ah, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I'm just gonna vaguely say that something very bad happened that I'm not going to mention what it is. And it kind of brought. I think that was one of the very few reasons why I ended up being friends with Kelly. So, um, it was also because we had mutual friends, but this big like bad thing that happened, um, really kind of brought us closer together. For better or for worse, mostly for worse. But basically, this person was I was very very close with her. In a level where like when you're friends with somebody in elementary school, yeah, you can be kind of close with them. Like you become close with them. Like I've known Angie forever and we're close. I consider us close. But when you're really young, it's hard to consider somebody close, right? I'm saying close a lot. But when you have a friend in high school, it feels a lot more like it feels different.
Personal.
Personal, exactly. So we spent a lot of time together. We took a lot of the same classes. We were in the same film class multiple times. We both joined film for the same reason because of a project that the friend group had decided to work on. It was called the Legacy League, and I'm not going any further because I'll spend all day talking about it. But it was a weird superhero series that we wanted to make that never happened. But anyway, um, basically, um, we were in a ton of the same classes. We were in film together. We were in animation together. Film was multiple years of being in the same class. And the big thing about film was um was an instance that started the first ever film project we had. Because in the first class that we took, it was a beginner course, so we had to work in groups. And for the first ever project, our teacher, to this day, one of my very favorite teachers, he said, "Okay, so you can work in groups of 2 or groups of 3. Um, so choose your partners." So I look at Kelly and then our other friend, who I'm still friends with. What should we name him? We'll name him Vladimir. Vladimir. I don't know why, but um, so Kelly and Vladimir were both in my class, and I immediately turned to him after I turned to both of them after I said that, and I said, "Okay, so we're obviously in a group, right?" And Vladimir immediately goes, "Yeah," and then Kelly says, "Well, I was actually thinking that we should start making some new diverse friends." like make friends with new people in this class. So like we have some people, some extra friends. I'm like, okay, like that's understandable, but I didn't understand. I just that wasn't I'm a I'm talking a lot. If you couldn't tell already, I'm an introvert and I have a few close friends and I'm not good at making friends. Like if I want to make friends, I can, but like I don't often. Anyway, so she's like, I personally want to work with more people. Yes, close friends are awesome, definitely. Um, Big groups are a lot sometimes. It's true. Um, and at that point, our group was really close, and I liked that. So, um, a lot of emotions and can be draining to an introvert, definitely. Because I still have some extroverted friends, and they are a lot. But anyway, um, in that class, for that first project, she said that she wanted to find, to see if she could be in a group with other people. She said maybe she'd be in a group with us, and I said okay, because I wasn't gonna force her. And I assumed Vladimir knew because he already kind of agreed to being in a group together. Um, but he didn't exactly realize that that was the confirmation of us being in a group because later on, um, this kid in our class back then I hated him for no good reason because right now he's a sweet guy. He's nice. Um, I'm not gonna say his name because it wasn't important. He had asked both of them without knowing that we were a group of friends if they wanted to be in a group with him because he thought that they seemed cool because when we did group discussion they had a lot of the same like movie preferences. So he'd asked them both to be in a group with him without the other person knowing. And so they both agreed. And I was left to do a project with some person that I didn't know, when I was the only person who was adamant on not wanting to work with somebody new. So, from then on, not only was I so uncomfortable during that first project, and they had a bunch of our friends playing characters in their film project who couldn't help me. I As time went by, every time that we weren't working on a project together, it was always she always got the first pick of because Vladimir stopped taking the class. I think he took it. I think for 1 year. He took it for the first year. This year is my third year taking the class, but um, so whenever we were making a project, she would always ask people to be in hers right before I got the chance to. And it was always absurdly early. And then, like, when I would ask them, they'd be like, I don't know yet, it's too early. But then she would somehow get all of them on board when it felt like it was too early for me to ask. And I'm already introverted. She was more extroverted than I was. So it was easy for her. But anyway, it came down to one project, one that I actually have on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. I'm not good at self promos, but I was really proud of it in the end. But in making it, I had a scene at the beginning. It's called Waking Up in Vegas Pro because Vegas Pro is the editing software that we use at my school for editing our videos. And in the school, mostly because of the Wi Fi, it barely runs. And I was making the project about how annoying Vegas Pro is to work with. And so it was a music video. And when I made it, I had a big scene plans for the first scene. And the concept is that there's this soap opera that my character is filming that is going to be her film project within the film project, which is kind of confusing. But the scene was supposed to have um, these two main characters having a conversation and then a bunch of background characters because it was a big party. And I was supposed to do it in the school hallway. And so The location didn't matter so much, but what happened was I had I'd asked everybody and been like, "Hey guys, just for this one scene, because the rest of them aren't that important, I need at least 3 people because I need the 2 main roles and I need somebody to hold the camera because there's a moving shot." And so I asked everybody, which was I asked at least like 6, 7 people. Excuse me. And I got 2 maybes and no yeses. Um, the 2 maybes, luckily for me, ended up showing up, which were my friends. You might have seen Christina in chat before. She's Jekka. Um, and another friend of mine who actually happens to be Licorice. I almost called him Twizzler. Oddly enough. So they played the 2 main characters, um, and so while we were filming, I had to ask a friend of mine that I wasn't originally planning on asking, and she was staying after for extra help, so she said she'd be there later, and I figured it'd be fine. Oh, sorry. Can you still hear me? You guys, still hear me? Angie, is my audio okay?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, good. All right. So basically, it was Christina from chat and Licorice, who were playing the main characters, and then my other friend, who I had to ask last minute. I felt really bad about it. She said she'd be late, which she was, which is fine because she said she was going to be, and I was asking her as my last resort. And so basically, I'm sitting there and waiting for that other friend to get there, and I had to film in the courtyard of the school. This little courtyard in the middle. Even though it didn't look as good as the hallway for like the scenery. Because I almost said her real name again. Kelly and all of her actors, which was my entire friend group aside from Christina and Licorice, were all in the hallway very loudly filming her scene. And I'm sitting there waiting patiently and having to listen to them laughing and having fun. And so, and then Christina gets a text. Yeah. And then Christina gets a text. And she gets up. She was sitting down. She stands up. I say, and she starts walking away. I say, Christina, where are you going? And she said, "Oh, I'll be back in a second. Kelly just asked. Again, you deserve better. Thanks. This was very recent, and luckily, I'm no longer friends with this person because of something again that was awful that she did. But so she says, "Oh, sorry. Kelly just asked if I could go with her to be an extra for a few seconds." Yeah, it's it didn't feel good in the moment, but that was the healthy progression that I'm no longer friends with her. But um, so she said she would be right back. I said, Christina, I'm already really, really upset right now. And I know if you go now, as soon as you leave, my other friend's going to show up to help. And I'm already upset with her that that she has every single person helping with her project. And now you're leaving me to go help her. And Christina immediately understood and was like, okay, I'll tell her that I won't be an extra. And she sat back down. And then very shortly after, our other friend came and we shot the scene. So I was already upset with that. And it happened for every single project that something like that would happen, where she would have every single actor on the only day that I needed them. And all of them, there were like, in that scene, by the way, there were like 3 main characters and the rest were extras. And she had more people than were in the friend group there. But a lot more recently, actually, this year, before school started, I was planning because because it was this person's birthday at the beginning of the summer and they couldn't have like a party obviously because of COVID. I was planning to do like a very small, safe, social distance celebration for her birthday because my dad moved into a new place and he had a big backyard, so I was gonna have everyone sit out there. I was gonna make a cake party. That would have worked too. That was one of my other options. But we were gonna stay like really far away and have cake that I made. And I was planning on making it a surprise because I knew that she didn't get to celebrate her birthday and I was all excited about it. I was like asking around to make sure if everyone was free. Excuse me. Oh, weird yawn. And um I asked her, "Hey, I understand like if you're still not comfortable going out and seeing people at all, but I was wondering if maybe before school started, you would want to come over to my dad's new place. We would stay really far away from each other and I just wanted to hang out cuz we haven't seen each other in a while." And I don't remember what she said exactly, but she said something weird about like I don't know, not just I don't know because that's normal, but like she was weird about it. Don't remember much because a lot happened after that. Said, and I asked her because I was always this was the worst part. I was always worried that all of my friends secretly hated me, which is it happens to a fair amount of people. But I always had this awful fear that someday I'd find out that every single one of my friends was just pretending to like me because they felt bad or something. And I said, "What happened? Did I do something? I'm really sorry if I did something. What's wrong?" And she sends me this huge, long message um, that said basically, "Hey, I just realized that I've been pretending to actually be your friend for over a year now. Sorry, I don't think we should be friends anymore." I spent so much effort on trying to make sure that she was always happy. Like, whenever she needed something, I was always trying to be there. Whenever, like, whenever anything happened, I know, whenever anything happened, I was always trying to be there for her. I always tried to help her through things. She had a lot of like emotional issues that I tried to help her through. She exactly she did this for what? And I I never asked her for anything. Yeah, and I never asked her for anything. I had my own fair share of
Hey,
yeah,
hate to interrupt,
yeah.
but I need to sign off.
Oh, okay.
It was fun.
It was
I had
fun.
fun.
Me too. Thanks for
Goodbye,
joining.
stream.
All right. All right. It was good talking to you. Thanks for joining.
Goodbye.
Butterfly says bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Um. All right. I'm gonna finish out the story real quick, and then I should probably head off myself. But basically, um, I had spent so many um so much time um like like worrying about her feelings, worrying if I was ever overstepping or making her feel uncomfortable. She told me all about like her emotional issues. She didn't even know that I was going to therapy at the time. She never asked how I was feeling about things. I never felt comfortable, like completely comfortable with her, but I always wanted her to feel comfortable with me, and I did so much just to make sure that she was always okay. And she just felt like she apparently hadn't ever cared about me. And it kind of showed. Like most of the time when you're in a class and you have the chance to work with somebody that you're friends with, this wasn't just film. Like that you just would want to work with your friend, but she never wanted to work with me on anything. She was selfish. She used you to meet her needs and never yours. It's entirely true. And it took me so long to even be able to say that. I remember my dad never liked her because of cuz I had this huge competition I had with my parents once where again it was like a weight loss thing. They wanted to encourage, and whoever lost the most weight by a certain time would get to invite their friend to go on a trip. And I chose her because it was me and my sister against my mom and my dad, and we won. And we went to Disney, um, and I brought her, Kelly, and my sister brought our cousin. And so basically, I like when we were there, she never said thank you for anything, and she I didn't pick up on any of it, but my dad was always like slightly annoyed because she never said thank you, and he saw the way like she talked to me sometimes, where like she wasn't really thinking about my feelings in the way that she spoke, which I never really saw. And like for the longest time he would he would try to make fun of her and be like, not make fun of her, but like he would try to say how he doesn't like her and how I shouldn't be friends with her. And I would always protect her and be like, dad, that's not funny, don't say that. And he wasn't joking. Like um real quick, a really good book I recommend. It was 265 a year ago, and this helped me change my perspective of food. I'm now 200 pounds. It's awesome. Um, I'm definitely gonna check that out. And thanks for sending that. Um, yeah, I agree with my dad now too because like um, I would always be like, Dad, stop saying that. Like that's rude. And then she did that, and I realized that he was kind of right, and it sucked to admit, but he pried it out of me what happened, and he was like, and his like first reaction was, I knew it, and then he tried to make me feel better, which was nice. But um uh yeah, basically um she sucked as a person. She was not nice. She also um had a bad relationship with Angie before she had a bad relationship with me, which is why she feels similarly uh, that I than I as I do. Um, and she she wouldn't say anything mean about Kelly, but she had a similar opinion to my dad because Kelly wasn't the nicest to her, and I would defend her, and yeah. So yeah, she was an awful person, and I I'm looking back, I'm really glad that I'm not friends with her anymore because she she was not she was not it. But yeah, um, you were a good friend to her, but she was not to you. It's it's pretty true, and like I'm a self-deprecating person, but I one of the one of the few things I can wholeheartedly admit is that I treat my friends well, and they don't always treat me back well. Some of them, but my current friends are good, which is good. It makes it look like I have a small German boy hair, which is what my sister says when I pull my hair back. I'm gonna fix this. Yeah, my sister does say that. So you treat me so well on the stream, and I feel so welcome. I'm really glad that you feel welcome, Butterfly. It's awesome having you here. Um, yeah. It's nice to have someone to talk to. And I always want to make people feel welcomed. So I'm glad. Nice. Oh yeah. By the way, um, if you only if you're like comfortable with this, Angie asked me because she thinks that you seem cool. If you wanted if you were okay with me giving her your Instagram if you have one, because she just thought you were cool and she wanted to follow you. Only if you're comfortable. She's, yeah. But yeah. Um, awesome, cool. Um, but yeah. Thank you again, by the way, about the book. I'll definitely check that out soon. So thank you. Um, so yeah, today was a nice stream. Awesome. All right, I'll send it to her. So cool. Yeah, today was a nice stream, and I'm stretching. God. Oh yeah, definitely. I would too. That would be very cool. Will do. But yeah. So today was a nice stream. We got some good talking in. I feel like I talked so much more about myself than I usually do. So I feel a little self conscious. But thank you so much for listening. And yeah, just chatting a bit was fun. So thank you for joining. I'm gonna head out. Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna head out, hang out with my sister a bit because I'm tired. Um, so yeah. Um, thanks for joining. You have a good one. You too. I said that as I got your message. So cool. Nice. Thanks for joining. Bye. I'm so tired. Oh god. Alright. Thank you. Bye. Good talking to you. Woo. Yay. I can't hit the end button because I'm waving. I will go to sleep. Alright. Bye. Ooh. Ah.